Hello and greetings, everybody, everywhere in southeastern Michigan. My name is Patrick Medlock, the minister of the Gateway Church of Christ in Southgate, Michigan. Welcome to this, the first broadcast leading up to the Crusade for Christ, sponsored by the Churches of Christ, occurring in the city of Southfield, July 26th to 30th. That's Saturday to Wednesday this summer. The Crusade for Christ is a national gathering of disciples throughout the country who will convene in Detroit for worship, prayer, witnessing, and some of the greatest preaching and a cappella singing this side of heaven, all in the name of our Lord Jesus. Scores and scores of souls have been won for the Lord through these efforts across the country, and we're excited to host this momentous event again for the first time since 1991, which is recognized by organizers as one of the very best in the 46-year history. So if you'd like to know more about this event that is rapidly approaching, and as you listen to this program, you will learn some things, but please feel free to log on to coccrusade.org. And if you would prefer to talk to someone, call us at 947-217-5100. That is 947-217-5100. Or you can email us at connect@coccrusade.org. Our guests today are three of the local coordinators of this year's crusade. We have a set of twins. Donnell Stewart, here to my immediate right, is the minister of the Linwood Church of Christ in Detroit. And Lonnell Stewart is accompanied by his lovely wife, Venetia. He is the minister of the Van Dyke Church in Warren, Michigan. Thank you three for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Well, first question is this, and that any of you can really answer it, but maybe, Donnell, you might want to start maybe. How excited are you to work this year's crusade, and how does it feel to follow what you understand to be one of the greatest crusades ever that happened in Detroit in 1991, based on all that what you've heard about it?
Actually, I'm extremely excited. Actually, when I was in 1991, I was younger. But now I'm 50, having the opportunity to work in this epic event. It's an opportunity to share the gospel, the good news to those who are lost and those who are saved, to keep them saved. And so my excitement is undescribable. And to be able to work alongside individuals like yourself, who was my mentor when I was growing up, my youth counselor, and to kind of follow in the footsteps of my father in the gospel, which is actually your father. So I'm really excited to carry the legacy on, but more importantly to proclaim God's word to those who need to be saved and those who need to be saved.
Fantastic. Venetia, you remember 1991?
I remember 1991, but I was not a member of the church then. So
Okay.
for me, this is extremely exciting.
Fantastic.
I'm not only getting to work and follow, like you say, one of the greatest crusades, I'm getting to participate in my first ever crusade. So for me, it's just extremely exciting to be able to proclaim God's word, try to get people to come and follow Christ the same way that I did before this crusade was even in Detroit. So for me, it's exciting just to be a part of the crusade.
Fantastic. And finally, Lonnell.
As for me, I am extremely excited for multiple reasons, but I'm not going to bore you with all of those different reasons. But one main reason is to spread the gospel to all, according to what our commandments are to do. And I'm truly excited because I'm working alongside with many great men like yourself at my mature age, because as my twin brother stated, we were younger at that time and we still work with the crusade, but we were younger. But now we're more mature and we're preaching and teaching the gospel, and to work beside you and a lot of other great men, the coordinators on a national level, on a local level, it is very exciting. And the main point I see as the torch has been passed from one generation to the next. And I just look forward to seeing the outcome of it, regardless of what we might go through in order to hit or get to the end results. We just got to leave it up to God to give the increase. And I'm very positive and hopeful for that particular increase. But I'm very excited about it.
Well, I know I was the youth minister at Redford in 1991, and we had the assignment of me and my youth group of directing young people that were arriving that weekend in the airport to the transportation that was being provided. And so I remember us being in the yellow T-shirts and
Yes.
being able to, hunt people down, and we had our little easel up. So I remember that very, very distinctly. And I do remember because my father was the local coordinator of the 91 Crusade. So it definitely was something that was really, really special. Next question for you. And what is it that prompted you to follow Christ and to serve as you do now? And this is any of you can respond to this question in any particular order.
So we're going to yield to the lady first.
What prompted me to follow Christ is I was born and raised Baptist. As being that when I met Lonnie, he introduced me to the church. And when he introduced me to the church, I was stuck in my ways as being, I was taught this, and this is how I'm going to stay. But it prompted me to go speak to, at the time, the minister of the congregation I was at. And I asked him, can you show me where to find our church in the Bible? And his response to me was, don't ask me that question, just listen to what I teach you. That was a very life-changing moment for me, because that's when I realized that I was not supposed to be following man, and I had been taught all my life to follow man. And that made me, I actually called Lionel right then and there, and I said, I want to be baptized.
Okay.
And I said, I realized that I've been following man, and it's time for me to follow Christ.
It's amazing because people don't understand it's really important that we have to follow Jesus and follow his commands. And that's really what this crusade is going to be about. It's going to be about offering the opportunity to be able to follow Jesus and engage with him. That is, this crusade is really not just going to be an event, it's going to be a mindset. And so that stands out. Either of the twins want to talk about how you now are serving and how did you first get engaged with the Lord? I know that if I can preview, I knew your mother. And your father's fantastic too. But I mean, your mother would be so ecstatic to know that she has two boys that are now grown men and now members of not of the church and sticking with the church, which might have been her main hope. But now that you both are preaching, one in Detroit, one in Wayne County, and one in Macomb. I mean, she would just be tickled pink. You guys want to add to that, though?
Actually, just real quick, I'm going to yield to my older brother, my twin, but we're fourth generation members of the church, so the Church of Christ actually runs through our blood. But as you said, my mother was extremely instrumental. We grew up in a Christian household. My mother was extremely instrumental on all of us. Understanding who God was, and being brought up in a congregation such as Franklin Road, we were thoroughly taught. We were taught the foundations, which is why now we're older, we have that strong foundation where we can't go away. But that was our upbringing. It's engraved, it's integrated in us, and that's what pushed us to say it's time for us to obey the gospel. Even though we grew up in the church, it was time to obey the Lord as well. And so at Lionel, I was in a youth group prior to all of my brothers, but then Lionel ended up following suit, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
I guess my situation as a youth, I didn't jump on board as quick as my twin brother in regards to the youth and everything. Even I hung out with the youth group and all the other ministries back at Franklin Road, but I was more, trying to hang out. Before I decided to give, even though I grew up in the church, but I was not, so to speak as a member, baptized yet. But that came about your father and the elders, Brother Willie Vaughn and Brother Dexter Harney, and even the deacons that was there. They were very solid. But I'm going to stick to your father because he was the minister and he was the man of that house at that time. But he was very solid in his teachings and pertaining to the body of Christ. And I think that what really won me over and say, Lionel, you need to get right. You need to do right. And following that pathway on into me becoming a teenager, becoming in my years of 20, getting married and things of that nature, and working with the current leadership, after the passing of your father, Brother Leroy Mellock, working with them, I felt as though I had something to say. And not in a negative way, but I felt as though the church was not going in the direction of, I feel like how I was taught, solid, grounded teaching, word study, textual study, a lot of different hermeneutical study, and that came off from your father, and I think that would really push me to be solid in the word. And when I got in my 20s and went to Midwest Christian Institute, it was on then. It was just more like I got something to say in the word, and not about me, it's about God. And I try to stick to that. But that pretty much led me, and that's what's really maintaining me. And I think the church needs to know what God has to say about a particular matter.
I'm glad that God is able to use all three of you in your individual ministries, as well as associated with this crusade. And again, this event officially begins on Saturday, July 26th, with a community connection festival at the host Oakland Church of Christ. That's at 23333 West 10 Mile Road, and that's going to be from 11 to 5 on that day. The community and church alike will enjoy food and fellowship and community service. 2 gospel messages will be delivered in the afternoon, along with choral a cappella singing. And here is one of the featured groups that will be slated to sing at the event on Saturday afternoon at the Oakland Church. So right now, we'll give way to the Michigan contingent of the Crusade for Christ chorus.
I'm Leonardo D. Gilbert, the National Director for the Crusade for Christ, and we're looking forward July 26th to July 30th for the Great Crusade at the Southfield Civic Center. I want to encourage you to come. These will be life-changing messages. These will be the type of things that cause people to say, I'm looking for an answer. I'm trying to figure out how to figure out things in my life. I'm trying to put things together. If that's you, the Crusade for Christ is for you. COCCrusade.org. You ought to go to the website. You ought to register. You ought to come. You ought to bring somebody with you. It's going to be one of the most exciting events held in Southfield and Detroit area, July 26th through the 30th. You ought to be there. God has a special blessing. You ought to be at the Crusade for Christ. It's all about Jesus. He is the answer. I read somewhere where he said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. We'll see you at the Crusade for Christ. God bless you.
That is a fantastic rendition of that song that we just heard from the Crusade Chorus. I just am excited about what they're going to do in contributing to the week that we're going to have, July 26th through the 30th. If you're just joining us, this is a broadcast that's leading up to the Crusade for Christ that's sponsored by the Churches of Christ that's occurring in the city of Southfield, Michigan, July 26th through the 30th. After Saturday, all the public events will be held at the Southfield Civic Center, during which you'll have a song fest where that group and several others will be singing during each evening. Then from Sunday to Wednesday, they will also have other groups that will sing during that time. And then the Crusade, just know it is a national gathering of disciples throughout the country who will convene on Detroit for worship, for prayer, and witnessing what I'm still going to say is some of the greatest preaching. And you just need to trust me when I say it will be some tremendous preaching, as well as some of the best a cappella singing in heaven. I had a member of my church who took some young people to another place that was having instruments, and they said, you know what, I like the four-part harmony that they're hearing from the a cappella worship, and so they've been coming back to us. You just got to know that this a cappella singing is going to be tremendous. And if you would like to know more about this event, which is rapidly approaching, then please log on to coccrusade.org. And if you prefer to talk to someone about either your journey or the event itself, then call us at 947-217-5100, or you can email us at connect@coccrusade.org. So again, I have Minister Donnell Stewart, I have Anisha Stewart and her husband and Donnell's twin, Lionel Stewart, with us today. They've been speaking to us about how excited they've been to be involved in this year's effort coming to Metro Detroit this summer. Can each of you give a reason for the public to come out and be a part of this Crusade for Christ experience?
I will first say this is an exciting moment to unite all of humanity. I would conclude by just simply saying that God don't want us to be just good, but God wants us to be the best. And he sent his son to do exactly that.
Okay.
Coming out, what the Crusade is going to do is not only bring you closer to God, but the Crusade will help you to understand who you are, walk within your purpose, empower you, and to make you a better you, and ultimately for eternity.
Okay.
So it will be an exciting moment. I want to encourage you to come on out. Not only God will get the glory, but you will be blessed.
Now, we've had Anisha be first. We've had her be in the middle. I'm going to have her go last this time, Lionel. All right, so how would you respond to that question?
It is a great question based on what Twin said. It is very exciting. And my encouragement to the public to come out is because God is real. And the historical facts about God is real. And we take time out to feed our physical and our carnal mindset and physical bodies. It is time for us to feed our spirituality, and to learn about feeding our spirituality is learning more about God and his word. And I think it's very important to have a relationship with your creator. So I encourage all to come out. And again, like what my brother said, this is not just isolated to one particular faith or religion. This is isolated to humanity. God is our creator, and we want to have a great relationship with our creator. So I encourage you all to come out to learn about your creator and learn the gospel.
Fantastic. Venetia, anything?
I would like to say come out for great gospel singing. If you're a member of the church, come out, get some fellowship, some love. It's a time to reconnect, restore. If you're not a member of the church, I say it's a good time for you to get to know the Lord and become a member of the church. There will be great gospel preaching. There will be classes, workshops for all ages. So we encourage you of whatever age it is, 1 to 100. Come out and join us.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you for those responses, and thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that very, very
Appreciate
much.
the opportunity.
Again, know that there will have those mass worship sessions that will be held on Sunday at 10 a.m. And then each evening after the Song Fest at 6 o'clock, there will be additional mass worship services that'll extend from 7 to approximately 9 p.m. Sunday to Wednesday. And so to recap, during the Crusade for Christ that's going to be held at the Southfield, in Southfield, Michigan on July 26th to 30th, please come out to the Saturday Community Connection Festival that's going to be held at the Oakland Church of Christ from 11 to 5 p.m., and that's at 23333 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. After Saturday, everything else is going to be held at the Southfield Civic Center Pavilion, with worship service on that Sunday the 27th beginning at 10 a.m. And then Sunday evening through Wednesday evening, there will be a song fest each night at 6 o'clock. You're going to hear, and as we end our program, some additional singing from that particular group, as well as other groups that will be singing, but we definitely want to give you a sample of that group. That's going to be at 6 o'clock each of the nights, Sunday through Wednesday, and then a mass worship session each evening starting at 7 o'clock. Again, check out our website at coccrusade.org, where you can access an online Bible study as well as get a handle on our schedule. And if you'd like to talk to someone about the event, or about just your walk with God. I like the fact that you guys were talking about some people need to reset, so this will be your moment. This will be your time. Call us at 947-217-5100, or you can email us at connect@coccrusade.org. Thanks for joining this broadcast promoting the 2025 Crusade for Christ being held in Southfield, Michigan, July 26th to 30th. Good day, everyone. And again, enjoy as we end this program, that wonderful gospel singing that we will just give you a sample of. You'll be hearing it the whole week. We hope to see you there.
I walk, I walk, I walk, I walk.
I am determined to walk with Jesus. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am determined to walk with Jesus. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Through all trials, tribulation, persecution, I am determined. I am determined.
I walk. 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 I walk.